Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another interesting episode of Tea Talks Tuesday. And I wish you all nutritionists and all women on this earth a very happy International Women's Day. So such a great day to celebrate today. And at the same time, we have a nutritionist, a role model over here today to speak, to give us few insights about her journey. So I would request Dr. Janki Garu to invite the guest for today. Over to you, Dr. Janki.
Thank you, Mayuri, and welcome to Tea Talks Tuesday once again, and a very happy International Women's Day. From yesterday onwards, we started celebrating, and it is still on until we finish our Tea Talks Tuesday today. And we have this beautiful guest for today, Matheen. She's my colleague, and she has won Mrs. India. So let us find out with her journey from being a nutritionist to Mrs. India. And she's currently chief dietitian working at Shinai Hospitals and Mamata Fertility Center. So welcome Matheen, Dr. Matheen. So let us know about you, and we have a lot of questions to ask you. A lot of aspiring nutritionists are waiting there to ask you so many questions.
Sure. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. It's always a pleasure to interact with all of you. And it's the first time I've ever been on a Tea Talks Tuesday. So it's a very nice concept that you both have started. And I look forward to participating in such things in the future also.
Great.
So first of all, it's a different thing altogether, from being a nutritionist to try and do something new, which is totally out of the box, not at all connected to what we generally do. But then I took this as some kind of an opportunity, some kind of maybe somewhere, some platform where I can just test myself, see where I stand along with the other women, because we have women coming from all over, and just to see how I stand along with them, whether I'm somewhere low or along with them or what, because in our work, in our field, we get so much involved that it's hardly any time to do anything else. We work in the hospital or in the clinic or wherever it is that we are working in, teaching, whatever it is. And from morning to night, it's just the same thing all over again. How are the patients? How all the time calculating the calories, the proteins, this, that, all that different diets and all that. And then so I thought, okay, let me try something totally different, not at all connected. So let's see how it goes. That's why I started it first. And before I start sharing my slide, I'll just tell you what prompted me to go for this. I've been hearing so many things, a lot of people going for all sorts of competitions and winning all sorts of things and coming. But then I think, okay, we have achieved so much in our own fields. We have done so much in our own fields. So let us also see, maybe we can also do something there. You never know. Maybe we can also see that we are also noticed there. And, you never know how things go, right? Life is full of surprises. Surprises. Yeah, I don't want to say shocks. Of course, we've had a big shocks last 2.5 years that we've been facing with the pandemic. So life is full of surprises. So that's the reason why that prompted me. I said, okay, let me just go and see how well I do. So that's the first thing I did. And this just popped up on my screen when I was browsing on the internet. Mrs. India thing is coming up. It's open for registrations. So first of all, I didn't even know if I'm eligible. You never know, right? All these things, what are the requirements and all that. I didn't even know that. So I thought, okay, let me just see if I'm eligible. They had just had a Google form this time, probably because it was that pandemic time. So maybe that's why they did an online Google form that they had. All they asked was just a few details about the participant and what are your interests, what are your hobbies, and why do you want to be a part of this competition. That's all they asked. So I filled that up and I sent it away. And after that, about a week after that, they sent me a WhatsApp message saying that there is going to be an online interview. But they said, I need to give them time. So they said, you give the time, because once you start the interview, you can't get up. And then they said it will go on for at least from 40 minutes to 1.5 hours. So I said, oh my God, if that kind of a time, I can't do it in the hospital because you never know what kind of questions they'll ask you, right? So I said, okay, then I'll have to choose an evening time. So I said, okay, I set up a time in the evening, and I didn't tell anybody at home also. I went quietly into my room. I locked the door and I told my daughters, I have two teenagers, by the way. So I have two daughters. So I just locked myself into the room, and I just switched on and went on for the interview. So during the course of the interview, they told me that it's going to be like a step-by-step procedure. The first is a set of questions that they'll be asking, maybe about 10 questions or so. And then once you clear that first round, it goes on to the next level. I'm sorry for that. Those are my dietitians going in and out. Okay. So the second stage is they'll ask you a few more questions. They didn't tell me what questions they're going to ask. They just said it'll just be one stage after each thing. And then if you go wrong in the first stage itself, you're disqualified. You can't progress to the second step. So I said, okay, I didn't prepare anything, but I'll just go for it. There was no time anyway. So the lady on the line, she said, I'm going to put you on to the panel. So then the panel came online, and then they said, all right, we're going to ask you the questions. So the first round was all general questions, general knowledge questions. But it's all something that we have studied long back in school and college. We don't go through all those books and all, right? All general things, yeah. So things that you're supposed to know, but sometimes you're not sure, right? So I was like, my God, I'm going to go out in the first round itself. Because they ask things like, what is your national flower? Of course, some things you know, like national flower and national colors and this and that. National bird, this, that, and all. Some things I know for sure. But some things you're a little worried. God knows what they're going to ask, And then they asked, what is the name of the book that Mahatma Gandhi wrote? Things like that. And give his full name, of course, a lot of people know. And who's the first person to do this, first Indian to go to space, first Indian to do this, first Indian to do that, things like that. So those questions were asked, and then it went on to the second round. And in the second round, it was all, they would give you situations. You're supposed to answer then and there. They'll say like, okay, you're somewhere and somewhere. What will you do in this kind of a situation? So no time. You have to answer then and there. Things like that. And then after the third round was about myself. So they said about you. You have to delve into yourself and get your answers from inside you. So they asked me questions like, who do you love the most? Who do you love the most? And then I said, I love myself. So they said, no, that's strange, because generally people will say their children or their husband or parents or something. How come you're saying you love yourself the most? I said, I love myself the most, because unless I love myself, how will I love others? So they were very happy with that one thing. So I thought, okay, not bad. I did well in that one question. And then they also had questions like, who do you give credit for all the things that you've achieved now, and what you'll be achieving in the future, and maybe whatever else you achieve in the future, what all you've reached the level till now. So I said, my parents. So they said, okay, why parents? I said, because of course they're the ones who educated me. If they hadn't given me the education, I wouldn't understand which is right, which is wrong, and all that. And then there are questions like, what is beauty? What is most beautiful to you? I gave very weird answers. I thought they wouldn't like it. I said, so for me, beauty is not something beautiful or anything. I said, even on the road, I look, if I see some old man pulling a cart and the sweat is going, even that sight is beautiful, because that is just nature. Nature itself is beautiful. So things like that. And then after the entire thing, they said, okay, we'll get back to you after a week. So this went on for almost like 45 minutes to 55 minutes, almost an hour.
Oh.
Totally grilling, it went on. And then they said, we'll give you an answer after 1 week, whether you're selected or not. After that, I forgot about it totally, back to duties and everything. And they had sent me an email, which I never bothered to check. I thought it was some spam mail or something. I didn't check. And then after 3-4 days, the person who had arranged the interview, she called me up. She called me up and she said, you have not replied to our email. I said, oh, I didn't even know there was an email. She said, no, please go and check your email. And then when I saw the email, there it was written that you have been selected as a finalist for the Mrs.India pageant. So you'll be ready and we'll tell you whichever places to come and all that. Oh my God, that was it. Then I thought, okay, now is the time I better tell my family. So till then, I had not told anybody. Nobody at work,
Till you
nobody
are
in the
selected.
family. So when that came through, I thought, now there is no escaping. Now I'll have to tell everybody. So that's how it started. So I'll try and see if I can share the pictures here and talk as we go along. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So here, right? I think I can share screen here.
Yes, yes. You have a green button.
Yeah.
That's share screen.
Yeah. I got it. I'm looking for my presentation.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Visible. Yes. Yeah. Fine.
Yes. Great.
So I kept it very simple. So this is the first picture they sent me, the finalist, with my name, and they had asked for a picture to be sent. So this picture I just grabbed from somewhere. Where's the time to go and post the pictures I had taken when I had visited some hotel here in Hyderabad for a lunch or something. So that picture I just sent them, and then they put that and they sent it back to me saying that I'm a finalist. And this is the entire group of finalists.
Wow. How many members?
A large group. This is from all over India. And when I was going, I thought, okay, maybe hardly 50 people will be there. Okay, maybe I have a chance. After reaching there, can you guess how many people were there?
Say about 25?
No, more than that. More than that.
There were 103 participants from
Wow.
all over India. And I was like, my God, I better take the next flight back. This was in Delhi.
Okay.
So I hadn't even booked my tickets until like 4 or 5 days before I had to go, because I wasn't sure whether to go. See, when you are going for these things, then you're answerable to so many questions people ask you, right?
Right.
So we all are still, though we say we are very modern, we've flown out of the nest, all that. But I'm telling you for a fact, I did not tell my own parents. My parents are aged; they're above 70. So, but I did not tell them. I just told them I have an event. I'm going to Delhi. I didn't tell them for what. Because they're used to that. They don't understand that. They wouldn't understand that. Why would a working woman, leave behind her family and her job and go somewhere else out of the city for a certain period of time, like 4 or 5 days at a stretch, and do something totally different? Okay, we have gone for conferences. I go for conferences, for national, international conferences all the time. No questions are asked, no fingers are pointed. Generally, that is not done. But when you say something like this, if you announce it, then people have different viewpoints altogether. So that's why I just kept it quiet. I didn't tell anybody. Even at work, I didn't tell anybody. I just said I'm going on leave. I'm going out of town for an event. That's all I said. I didn't tell my juniors also, my dietitians. They all got a big shock when I came back. Anyway, so this was the first day.
Pleasant surprise.
Yes. And for the first day, there were some requirements. They told us to get a black dress. So I'm also wearing a short dress there. I'm there at the back.
Where are you in this?
In this, I'm there at the back, second row, somewhere here, I think.
Okay.
Not sure.
Okay.
At the back. So, of course, even the youngsters stand in front. They go at the back. So we had two groups, like below 40 and above 40.
Okay.
So we are above 40 people, 40 category. So the requirements where you have to wear heels, minimum of 3.5 inches, stilettos, not regular block heels and all. I have never worn stilettos in my life, believe me, because my husband is of the same height. I thought when I get married, I'll wear stilettos, I'll wear high heels and all that. All that did not happen because mine was an arranged marriage and my husband is exactly my height. So whenever I go out with him, I can't wear heels, I can't wear stilettos or anything. So this was a very first for me, and I was like, my God, how am I going to go through all these days? And the rule was you can't take off your stilettos. You have to wear them all the time. You have to wear them the entire day. Whatever attire you're wearing, you have to wear the stilettos compulsorily. So that was one thing, one rule, and one black dress they said that we should get. Short length. It has to be knee length. It can't be a long dress. It has to be knee length. So these two things I did for the very first time. I'll show you another picture. It will come where you'll see separately. And this was the second day in which they had a quiz on the spot quiz, written quiz with questions. About 40 questions were given to us, and we all had to write the answers. This was a general knowledge, all national and international questions were asked, all different things like who won Olympics gold in some particular event, and which place our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be inaugurating next, or something, all sorts of quiz. I don't remember now, but all those questions were there, and out of 40, I got the most correct. So I was given the sash Beauty with Brain. So that's me getting the sash over there. So that itself made me happy. The second day, I thought, okay, the work I came for is accomplished. Now I can go back home.
Every step you want to go back.
Yes. So I thought probably I can just go back after this. So, but then there was more in store, which I had no knowledge of. So this is my first picture. Can you see the first picture? I'm wearing the knee-length dress, the black dress. And the one in the middle is the one which they had put the sash for me, Beauty with Brain.
Oh.
I'm posing with that. And the third one was the talent round. So like you have in all these beauty pageants, you all this talent round and ramp walk and this and that, all that we had to do. My God, this was a big first for me. And seeing some of the women, I really got scared because we just go directly, we don't prepare and all. There were some women, I'm telling you, they had assistants. And they had brought along somebody to do their makeup. They had got along somebody to get their dresses. Some fashion designer getting their dresses. All that. Yeah. But for us, they had told us that we could get designer dresses. We should tell them beforehand, and the designer would arrange the dress for us. We have to send our measurements beforehand, both for the ethnic round and the Western round. So which we had done. Which I had done. They had asked me to send all my measurements. I went to a tailor. She was wondering what is wrong with me, all sorts of measurements, because they need everything from here, the collar to the collar to the neck, tight neck, and then the low neck, deep neck, and the entire hand, starting from full sleeves, from the wrist, everything, all which I've never heard of, calf round, this round, that round, all sorts of things, shoe sizes, all that. And this was. Let me see if I can play this. Yes, this is our ramp walk practice.
Oh, wow.
So this is our practice, ramp walk practice. So you'll see me now walking. I'll come in a green dress on the left-hand side.
You're in the green.
Yeah. Green dress. It was very first time I walked, okay? So I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do here? I'm not even wearing heels. You can see those heels, right? So that was that. That was a ramp walk practice that we had. And you're supposed to wear gowns and the heel and walk. And then we had a choreographer teaching us. We had a lady makeup specialist coming and telling us tricks to do our own makeup. We had somebody talking about how to take care of the skin. We had a dentist. We had a dentist coming and telling us, what kind of smile. He said it's not important for you to have all even teeth, even if you have uneven teeth, which I have, by the way. But he said what is important is they look at your smile, how you smile and how confidently you smile. So, and how you present yourself. It doesn't have to be like pearly white is not the norm anymore, he said, because pearly white is artificial. It has to be slightly yellowish, slightly creamish. Because if somebody has a pearly white smell, he said that means that person has done something to their teeth. So that was
keep it as natural as possible.
Yeah. And then for the talent round, we had people coming and dancing. There were people singing. There were people giving speeches, all sorts of things. But I wrote a poem on that night before the talent round, and I wrote it here for you also. You can read it, but I'm also going to play it. So see, I'm not sure how clear it is, but I'll play it.
Okay. Yes, I didn't have my by-hearted. I have just called it She. It's dedicated to each and every one of us over here. With a furrowed brow and busy fingers, she goes about her daily multitask. Just for a short while, wishing that time lingers. Enough to space her thoughts. That is all she has. As weeks merge into months and years, she toils, working towards achieving others' dreams, her own desires. Life happens and toils, but she still rejoices for others and beams. Then one day comes along a sign, an opportunity to show all she's worth, gearing up to claim what's thine, a chance for her gifts to unearth. Confidently, she takes her place forward, in the forefront to shine, no more to write brilliant, boldly showcasing her talents. She's no coward, because she is Mrs. India, one in a million.
Wow.
So that was the poem that I wrote.
Okay.
Because I thought this is something like summarizes women in general, because we are used to our daily lives, doing things for others, going around our daily routines, forgetting about everything else, putting everybody else before us. Even the simplest thing we think, okay, let them do that first, and then it's our turn. That turn never comes, Then by the time you realize, your lifetime is over. Unfortunately, that is what happens for most women. So I thought through this, probably I'll give a message to everybody that, take up a challenge, take up an opportunity and go and try something very different from what you're used to. Get out of that same rut. We call it a rut because you're in that thing inside all the time. You're not coming out. Unless you come out and explore yourself, it's a chance for you to explore yourself within also. See, for me also here, when I came, I met different people, different kind of people. This is a group of, or this is after the talent round. You can see the different kind of talents they've done, all dances. And there was one lady who did yoga. She's painted herself over there in the middle.
Right.
You see her, the third from the left.
Mm-hmm.
So she did yoga postures. And the one next to her did a Helen dance. She's a teacher. And she said, if my teachers, if my students see me doing this, I don't think any parents will send their students to me. She did a Helen cabaret dance, that kind of a thing. So it's like a chance for women to get out of their, and show what they're capable of.
Awesome.
Yeah, and this lady in the blue, I won't mention her name, but she has had an acid attack from her own husband. Can you believe that?
Oh my God.
4, 5, 6, sixth from the left and fifth from the right. She has had an acid attack from her own husband. Her arms were thoroughly scarred. And this is the first time she's ever attempted. I'm getting goosebumps talking about her because she's been through a lot. All these women, they have a story to tell. That's what we all realize. All women who have come here, it's an opportunity for us to also share our experiences. And the one from the right, second from the right, sari, she's in the army.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
She's an army officer.
Okay.
And she's from UP, she's an army officer. So we are all these finalists.
Finalist.
All of us. So we just took a picture together to show for our memory's sake. So what I'm trying to say here is, talking to all these people, also you realize how much grateful you should also be for things that you have, some things that you don't realize you have sometimes, and which you take for granted sometimes. It happens to all of us. Yes. And it also gives you a chance to explore, okay, maybe this is something that I can also do, And there was this lady who decided to start painting after seeing some other lady over there. She said, if she can paint, so I will start painting in a sari, I can do something different. It gives you a chance to think. Right. Otherwise, stuck in the house, there's no chance to think also. We are stuck in with our work all the time, with our daily routine. This is our choreographer sitting there in the center, Kapil. Right. Oh my God. And we told him that by the time he finished with us, he would have been fed up because most, I think, out of the total group, there were a few like me who had never worn heels in their life. And just getting us to wear those heels and walk straight without falling itself is a big thing, And I was praying so much, oh my God, let me not fall in the finale.
How much time it took for you to?
That'll be like totally bad, right? Because everybody's watching you and the glare of lights and all that. You're not used to all that. No? So many lights coming and so many sounds coming from all over, music being played and all that. So this is actually the wrap up on that day. The middle picture you can see all the finalists there, and that's my turn. I'm there walking in front, and I
Beautiful.
struck a pose there on the side, whatever best I could manage.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, this was the gown round. And then this was the crowning, the sash. When they said I'm international icon, they announced, and then I didn't know what title they are giving, what all titles they are giving. Who knows, right? You never know all these things. And suddenly they announced, they don't call by name and all. They only call you by the tag name, tag number.
Right.
So they said, till the last day, you have to have your tag number. If you don't have your tag number, you're out of the competition. So I was, being so careful with that tag that they had given us for all those days. So that's the lady who's putting my sash is a designer herself. She's a fashion designer. She was the one who designed that gown that I'm wearing.
Oh,
okay.
So she did the crowning for me. And then after that, when I came back, then things went crazy here. This was in the Sakshi newspaper here in Hyderabad. And then when people came to know that I came back, and they asked for an interview. So I did an interview, and I went for the local news. I didn't want in English because I thought English, everybody comes to know, right? So I wanted to mostly tell people, inspire people from normal people, not like people only who can read English and all that. The local people also, so that they understand.
I like this. They wrote a nutritionist.
Yes, I made sure
such
I
a
said,
lovely.
please mention that I am a nutritionist. Please mention, that people should not think I'm just some person who's into the beauty business or some fashion designer or something. Somebody who has done this from years. This is my ever first time. Never done anything like this. And this was in the news. I think this is in Hindi.
हैदराबाद नगर से संबंध पोषण विशेषज्ञ डॉक्टर मतीन असरार को एक दुर्लभ सम्मान प्राप्त हुआ है। नई दिल्ली में संपन्न सौंदर्य प्रतियोगिता में मतीन असरार को 2 वर्गों में पदक प्राप्त हुए हैं। उस्मानिया विश्वविद्यालय से पीएचडी पूर्ण किए डॉक्टर मतीन असरार इस समय नगर के कई अस्पतालों में अपनी सेवाएं प्रदान कर रहे हैं।
गत सप्ताह देश की राजधानी दिल्ली में संपन्न हुए मिसेस इंडिया 1 in a मिलियन क्लासिक वर्ग में भाग ली डॉक्टर मतीन असरार ब्यूटी विद ब्रेन इंटरनेशनल आइकॉन वर्ग में भी विजेता चुनी गई। इस जीत के मौके पर मतीन असरार ने कहा कि मैं एक डॉक्टर होते हुए इस प्रतियोगिता में विजेता के रूप में चुना जाना मेरे लिए बहुत ही खुशी की बात है। इस प्रतियोगिता में देश भर से 103 महिलाओं ने भाग लिया था।
हैदराबाद नगर से संबंध पोषण
This was again, this is hardly acceptable.
हैदराबाद को చెందిన న్యూట్రిషనిస్ట్ డాక్టర్ మతీన్ అస్రార్ కు అరుదైన గౌరవం దక్కింది। న్యూట్రిటివిటీ విత్ బ్రెయిన్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఐకాన్ కేటగిరీలో టైటిల్ దక్కించుకుంది। జీవితం
So all this is just this is in Telugu. I don't know how much of our audience understands Telugu.
న్యూఢిల్లీలో జరిగిన అందాల పోటీలో డాక్టర్ మతీన్ 2 విభాగాల్లో పతకాలను సాధించారు। మాలియా యూనివర్సిటీలో పీహెచ్డీ పూర్తి చేసిన డాక్టర్ మతీన్ ప్రస్తుతం నగరంలోని పలు ప్రముఖ ఆసుపత్రుల్లో సేవలు అందిస్తున్నారు। గత వారం ఢిల్లీలో జరిగిన మిసెస్ ఇండియా 1 in a మిలియన్ క్లాసిక్ విభాగంలో పాల్గొన్న డాక్టర్ మతీన్ బ్యూటీ విత్ బ్రెయిన్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఐకాన్ కేటగిరీలో విజేతగా నిలిచారు। డాక్టర్ అయ్యుండి ఈ పోటీలో విజేతగా నిలవడం ఆనందంగా ఉందన్నారు। దేశవ్యాప్తంగా ఈ పోటీలో 103 మంది పాల్గొన్నారని, తాను 2 కేటగిరీలలో విజేతగా నిలవడం సంతోషంగా ఉందన్నారు। కరోనా సమయంలో ఒకవైపు వైద్య సేవలు అందిస్తూనే మరోవైపు తాను ఈ పోటీలో పాల్గొన్నానని అన్నారు। తక్కువ టైం ఉన్నప్పటికీ ఆత్మవిశ్వాసంతో పోటీలో పాల్గొన్నట్లు వివరించారు। ఈ పోటీలో తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల నుంచి 4 పాల్గొన్నట్లు అనుకున్నారు।
Very proud, and I feel andaru they should attend this kind of a thing. This is not only about beauty andi, endukante meeru kottaga edaina cheyali ante you should take the first step anamata. Nadi first step edi that because I registered for the pageant, adi na first step. Edaina different ga attempt chesi try cheyali, you give your best. Nee best iste definitely you will get some returns. So that is the reason why I went for this pageant. And I thank everybody who is watching this, and please take this as a lesson. Miru ఎప్పుడైనా never think you should stop doing what you feel like. ఏదో ఒక చిన్న డ్రీమ్ ఉండొచ్చు మీ లోపల, అది ఏదో ఒక టైం మీరు చేసుకోవచ్చు ఆ డ్రీమ్ ని. దిస్ ఇస్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ లేడీస్, ఈవెన్ ఫర్ యంగ్స్టర్స్, ఫర్ adults, for young adults, for boys and girls. Andarki, this is a message I would like to pass. So, and then these are just the pictures, the official pictures that they sent. One is the ethnic round, and then the fashion shoot that they had. The middle picture is the fashion shoot which they took of each participant. And of course, the last picture is after the getting the sash and the crown. So that's it. I think this is my end of my, yeah, this is last. So that was my journey.
What a beautiful journey.
Awesome.
What a beautiful journey. And you composed it so nicely right from the beginning, and your feelings, you expressed your feelings right from beginning, why you wanted to start and why you want to enroll yourself, and how it ended. It looked and we felt as if we are part of it. So nicely composed it.
True. True.
That is what I want to, that's the message I want to give everybody, that, you know, anybody can go for this. A lot of people have this in your mind, you know, that only if you have to be certain height, you have to go for fashion shows, only then you can attempt all these things. Sorry, I don't know how many people speak. So it's not like that. You can just attempt all these new things. I want to you know, break that line that people draw for themselves, you know, that you cannot go beyond this. You cannot cross that line and do something different. So that's the reason why I thought, let me tell everybody about this. Earlier, I thought maybe I should not announce it, but then I said, okay, let me spread the message. It inspires other people to go for things like that. And I also tell people there is no limit for this, you know. You don't say that after 30, after 40, you cannot do things. That is very wrong. That's what I tell everybody. Don't think that after 40, your life is over. You can get back to doing only the small chores around, you know, whatever you feel like, small hobbies, things like that. And I said, no, something like that. You should decide. Age is just a number, and I have tried and proved it. That
Very true.
And stand there and win things that people only imagine.
Very true, very true. And everybody has so many dreams, small dreams.
Yes, that's what I say. That, you know, everybody has some small dream, some tiny dream, and there is always an opportunity. Sometimes life gives you an opportunity. It's just that you should have the guts to take that forward. You should just think,
first step.
Let me just try. You know, you should just have that and just take the first step. And after that, things start moving.
Yeah. You'll have to go along with the time, and after that, whatever they say. Good, really nice. It is so nice to listen to this story. You know, it's such a lovely story.
That being a nutritionist, being from this field, you know, going and getting something and doing something totally different, that itself makes it, you know, double special for me, I should say. Because when I came back, I hadn't told anybody, any of my colleagues or anything. So when I came back, I brought my crown and I brought my sash, and I went straight to my medical director. And she said, we missed you. You had gone for 4 or 5 days. You were gone. You were not there. There was some meeting also I missed because of that. I said, yes, madam, I had a reason. I first showed her my certificate. And then I put that, they gave me a small trophy. I put that in her hand. She didn't understand that. And then when she saw the trophy, it was written Mrs. India. She said, Mrs. India. You went for Mrs. India. And then I took out my sash, and then I took out my crown, and she got up. She stood up and she said, what? And then it was a big thing, you know. She took pictures in her cabin immediately and sent it on the group, announced to everybody and all that. And all that, you know, things like, so that was also so nice, you know. I thought, okay, so nice that she's reciprocated this way, right? So, of course, she's also a woman, so probably that made it better. But also, you know, even here in Shenoy Hospital, Dr. Deen Dayal, he was so proud of me. He said, and you didn't tell anybody. He said, you kept it a secret. I said, sir, I didn't know how far I would go. I just thought, let me just participate and come back quietly. I didn't think I'll go and come back, you know, with 2 titles. So he said, oh, it's really something wonderful that has happened. So That's why I thought it's nice to share it with people and let it be known, and also inspire other people to go and do things like this. Not necessarily this, but anything, any kind of a small competition. It can be a local thing. I tell you, even people who have never spoken up in their lives were there in this pageant, who have never given a speech, because we all had to introduce ourselves and talk about ourselves. So in the mic, and there were a lot of people who have never done that ever in their life. So that's why I think you should go for these things, because that's where you learn and you understand. Oh, am I capable of this also? So you can end up surprising yourself also with these things.
So what is the main difference between Mrs. India, Miss India pageant? What do you think is Mrs. India and Miss India?
Mrs. India and Miss India. Well, to be frank, there is no swimsuit round in Mrs. India. Because obviously this is not about having a thin physique and all that. You have to love your body. You have to accept your body as it is. It's not that you're showing off a thin structure, or thin is not healthy anymore. Of course, as nutritionists, we know that thin is not healthy anymore. But in Miss India, that is what they still strive for. Certain propaganda that they look for, and you have to be thin, you have to have a certain height.
Measurements.
Mrs. India, it's not like that. They also look at what you've achieved. Whether even if you can be a simple homemaker, how many years you have been a homemaker, because that also is a big task. Managing the house, managing a family is also a big task. So if you have been consistently married for so many years, I think that also is a big achievement, because nowadays you hear of so many people who are breaking up, who are having divorces also, which I think also is happening nowadays youngsters. That's probably because mindsets are changing, but that also shows how much committed you are to a particular relationship. It doesn't have to be only personal, it can be a professional relationship also. If your personal relationship is good, obviously your professional relationship will also be good.
Good, yes.
How is life after Mrs. India?
Well, there were a lot of things, but I didn't go crazy with that. I said, look, I have done something, so I'm staying rooted to where I am. And of course, a lot more things that I'm called for, a lot more areas where people want me to come and talk and all that. I'm doing all that because I want to inspire other people to come out of their shells. So I'm doing all that, but I'm not going for any more pageants. Though I was shortlisted for another one in May for Mrs. World, but I said, no, I'm not, I don't want to go, because that's like, I just thought maybe then I'll have to give up all this, what I have worked for all these years in my life. And this is not something I want to give up. I'm happy where I am. I'm happy being a nutritionist. So I want to stay as a nutritionist. Of course, I'll enjoy this part of it from time to time, but it cannot be what defines me. What defines me is something, this is who I am. I'm a nutritionist and I'm a homemaker. This is who I am. I have certain hobbies. I like singing, I like reading books, all that. So beyond that, if I go for something else, then it stops you from pursuing this kind of a life. It changes your life totally. And frankly speaking, I'm not cut out for that. Because those 4 or 5 days that I was there, it was hell. I'm telling you now, we were sleeping at 1:30 in the night and waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Hardly 4 hours of sleep, and we have to report on the dot. We had a fitness session we had to report for, and we were being marked. We were viewed all the time. There were cameras on us all the time. And you have to be in those heels all the time, which was a big torture for me.
Okay. Wow. That's a great ride actually you had. And I like this. You said just now you mentioned that you're card for this and not for Mrs. World. So if you had to go, you have to leave everything.
Go for that, and at this stage of my life, I don't think I want to do that. I don't want to do that. Even if I were 10 years back, maybe if I had been 10 years younger, even then I don't think I would have gone for something like that, because that's not me. That's not who I am.
Great. This talk today, on detox is something totally personal and different from regular talks, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Yes, in fact, I had a lecture just before this talk today. I had to give a small talk on nutrition management, dietary management to all housekeeping and our staff in the hospital. Not doctors as such, but just general housekeeping staff, all women who are working ayas and housekeeping staff and nurses and all that. So I just kept it very general. I just gave them general lifestyle tips. Like I told them things that they can use from the kitchen that they can use to make their lives healthier and not resort to, multivitamins and things like that. Just reach for things in your kitchen like haldi, I told them, like methi, zira, things like that. I was just talking to them. General things I was just talking to them because I said it should not be just a boring lecture. And I made them do a small activity just to see how strong they are, just small activities, just a fun thing so that they can also interact with others and, also have fun because otherwise they're also working day in and day out.
True,
and I
true.
told them 2 tips. I gave them 2 tips. I said, you should all eat leafy vegetables and you should have atta, which is not processed, not the ready-made atta. You should buy wheat and you should grind it and you should use that atta. And I said, those 2 jobs you give your husbands. So from today, you tell your husbands to remove the leaves from the leafy vegetables and give you. And the second job is to go and buy the wheat and get it ground and make it into atta and give you so that you can make it into chapatis. So I said, these are the 2
On Women's Day, you have given this work to men.
Men.
So I said, now because they're talking about gender, no gender
Equality.
bias.
Gender bias.
Good.
Yeah. So I
Break the
said,
bias.
okay, they said we are equal, so they should also be equal to us. They should also share the housework with us.
I
Very
like
true.
this. They also have to be equal to us.
Correct. They should also do these things for us.
Very inspiring.
In Tea Talks, we encourage this, something which is not the practice, but something which you do. We asked our members to post. We really got good response. I think this is on the occasion
Nutrition
of
week. This
Nutrition,
nutrition
National
month.
Nutrition, National
Entire
Nutrition
month.
Month. Yeah. So entire month we posted members' hobbies, interests in Tea Talks. So,
An amazing response. We had a great response, and we could see a different side. Like, a coin has 2 sides. Just like that, we have seen all the nutritionists, the other side of the nutritionists. Many of them were into fashion designing, and a lot of them were into embroidery. Many things, different things.
poetry,
Poetry.
plants,
Yes.
paintings,
Painting.
so many. We really enjoyed that. So it's really great, Matheen, to have you today, and
It's my pleasure. Thank you
we
so much.
enjoyed your experience. It was as if we are there
I
on
enjoyed it
screen.
too. I enjoyed it too, reliving it with you all.
Yeah, really lovely to hear this experience of
And
you.
thank you very much, Mayuri. I saw you the other day at the meeting, but I didn't get a chance to interact with you.
Yes. We had just a few lines exchanged. That's it. But yeah.
Yes.
A very inspiring story, ma'am, and very much needed for all women out there who needs to know about themselves. There's something which they don't know. So these kind of events, or something out of the box, as you are saying, to think about you, will give them a knowledge, like what are they capable of doing it. So try to be in your me space. For what I say is, my space or me space, at least for 10 to 15 minutes of the day, so that you can explore and take out all your talents out from you, and more happier.
Yes.
So, very inspiring story, ma'am. Thanks for being here on Tea Talks Tuesday. Would love to have more sessions with you, with such a energetic smile and inspiring this personality. Are we good to go, doctor?
Yeah, nice. It is so nice. I don't feel like ending this. Want to ask many questions, and anyway, off the record we'll ask.
So thank you all. Thank you for being today here on Tea Talks, and see you all next Tuesday, same time, same place. Bye for today. Bye everyone. Bye.